The Jeffrey Epstein files vanished, like poof, gone. Meanwhile, Trump's out here doing an endless press tour, acting like none of this matters. Instead, he wants you to stress about Iran's nukes and that whole 2020 stolen election thing. But really, are we all still pretending Epstein isn't worth talking about? So someone brought up the Epstein stuff again during a meeting, and Trump just rolled his eyes like, seriously, we're still talking about that? Come on, move on. He basically told people to stop obsessing like it was some kind of old news joke. According to him, Epstein killed himself, was totally innocent, and people are wasting their time bringing it up again. And somehow, that's supposed to be the end of the conversation.
Costa, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the staff?
Yeah, sure. If
Hey, Pam, could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration. But
there are talks that the DOJ might finally release that mysterious Epstein client list. Will they? Of course not.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now.
In Epstein's case, it is incredibly disturbing. We have flight logs, we have information, names that will come out.
Instead, we get some sketchy prison footage. Only problem is the metadata shows it was tampered with. Supposedly, Dan Bonino said they'd released the original untouched tape, so there wouldn't be any funny business. That didn't happen. What they gave us looks like it was edited.
And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively. The video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide.
Now, it gets weirder. Trump says they accidentally made themselves look bad in the process. He brought up Bill Clinton and Prince Andrew being connected to Epstein's island, according to Disgusting Place. He said the Clintons were friendly with Epstein, but not exactly friends. Still, he claims they played at his clubs all the time like it's no big deal.
Bill Clinton.
nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein. A lot of problems. I don't know, but that island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew. He'll tell you about it.
In this KASH PATEL, now head of the FBI, flopping around like a fish on land. One minute he says the black book is classified, the next he's pretending it never existed. Congrats to the Senate for confirming yet another wild card. But seriously, don't forget about that Epstein book. Keep your eyes open. And no, conspiracy theories aren't just fairy tales. Some of them might actually be trying to tell you something. During Patel's confirmation hearing, he said child trafficking has no place in America and he'd make sure the truth comes out.
As Jeffrey Epstein's
Black Book?
Black Book.
FBI. That's under direct control of the director of the FBI.
The Senate has confirmed KASH Patel as the new director of the FBI. He was another controversial choice.
That's why you don't have a Black Book.
That Jeffrey Epstein story is a big deal. Please do not let that story go. Keep your eye on this.
The conspiracy theories just aren't true, never have been. It's an honor to serve the President of the United States, and I'll
So will you work with me on this issue so we know who worked with Jeffrey Epstein in building these sex trafficking rings?
Absolutely, Senators. Child sex trafficking has no place in the United States of America, and I will do everything, if confirmed as FBI director, to make sure the American public knows the full weight of what happened in the...
But then, when asked about Epstein, he certainly acts like it's an inappropriate time to ask questions. Tragedies like Texas floods are awful, but last I checked, humans are capable of multitasking. And when asked if that could become a political problem, Trump just danced around it like maybe it could be an issue or maybe not, depending on who you ask. But now he's saying the people who were once afraid of what the Epstein list might reveal are the ones who created it. And people have noticed some of them, like CEO Vaughn, Rogan, even Dave Smith, are starting to distance themselves.
That was under the Trump administration.
Yeah. Well,
when Epstein got killed.
Listen, it didn't matter what administration. That is some very powerful people. It has nothing to do with who's the president.
No, I know, but
Why
hasn't that come out?
Not a word, not a list, not a thing, nothing.
Well, Jesus is still there.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
And I would imagine it's not going to either.
No, it ain't.
He's lame. Everybody's like, when Trump gets in office, the Epstein. Yeah.
Yeah, right. He's going to tell it himself.
Let's go through both scenarios.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go for the first one of covering it up.
Yeah.
So what does covering it up mean?
Either there's an intelligence operation that's happening within the United States that is aiding and abetting the exploitation of children. It's not great. Our taxpayer dollars go to this in some type of CIA black budget. So we're now complicit in this thing, but it's for the greater good of America.
Right.
So we kind of are like, oh, fine. Or Trump is implicated in some direct way because obviously he knew Jeffrey Epstein from back in the day, or both of those things.
So let's talk about these two scenarios. So if this is an intelligence operation, like I remember when people were blaming it on Israel. It would be better if it was another country. Like, wouldn't you rather your own country not be the one that was plotting, planning, and exploiting these little girls like this? You would hope it was another country. But let's say, for example, it is an American intelligence. Maybe it's America and Israel. That's kind of what it feels like. I mean, there's like an insane amount of ties to Israel in this. But let's say it is an intelligence operation, like you just said, that our taxpayer dollars are going towards the sex and abuse of children. Do they have this conversation with KASH, Bongino, Trump, and the administration and basically go, what do you want to do, guys?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell the entire country? At that point, like, there'll be people that they'll DM me and be like, you see what your boy's doing? You voted for this. I'm like, I voted for none of this. He's doing the exact opposite of everything I voted for.
Yeah.
I want him to stop the wars. He's funding them. I want him to shrink spending, reduce the budget. He's increasing it. It's like everything that he said he's going to do. These DMs or comments are like when Trump does something, they're like, so this is the guy that you voted for? And it's like, no, actually, I didn't vote for expanding the budget. I didn't vote for continuous foreign. This is the exact opposite of the things that people voted for. So, yeah, it's horrible. All that shit is horrible.
His campaign worked.
Yeah, and yeah,
it is what it is.
But
He's a salesman.
And now Trump's saying, yeah, the files exist. I've seen them, but they're fake because my enemies wrote them. So you're saying the files are real and fake at the same time.
Speaking of which, how is it that my father can be convicted of 34 crimes, but no one on Epstein's list has even been brought to light? I'm trying to figure out how that's possible, right, folks? It's almost like they're trying to protect those pedophiles for some reason. I can't imagine why, right?
We're talking hundreds of Epstein victims, over 250 actually. People want answers, but even when we get a crumb of info, it's covered in caveats like we have to protect victim identities.
Well over, this will make you sick, 200 victims, 200. So we have, over 250 actually. So we have to make sure that their identity is protected.
Sure, but then one of the girls who spoke out about Epstein and Prince Andrew turned up dead. Also, Trump is now hyping up Pam Bondi and KASH Patel like they're doing a great job, even though people blame them for this mess.
To release these records on Epstein, MLK, and JFK.
Well, Pam Bondi's done a phenomenal job in every respect, and there could have been some holdback. I haven't heard too much about it, but they could. But the bottom line is the records are.
And all this is happening while Prince Andrew is free to travel again since the Epstein investigation is over. So the question is, who's protecting the clients now? The people, the governments, the influencers? Nobody seems to know. The government says they won't hold back info from the public, but then releases edited footage with messed up aspect ratios.
Raw Epstein footage was modified according to its metadata, despite Dan Bongino previously saying that they would release the original footage so you wouldn't think there were shenanigans.
There's video. We are working on cleaning it up to make sure you have an enhanced, and we're going to give the original so you don't think there were any shenanigans.
Quote, metadata shows the FBI's raw Jeffrey Epstein prison video was likely modified. And basically they pulled the metadata and showed.
Do they think we're blind? hire a YouTuber to line up the footage correctly. Literally anyone could do better. And if you're giving us footage that's already been altered, what's the point? We're supposed to believe this isn't suspicious. Like really, all these billionaires, celebrities, politicians, Gates, Clinton, Reid Hoffman, they all hung around Epstein, but no one's been arrested, no real investigation, nothing.
But other than that, I think tomorrow, the personal information of victims, other than that, I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released by my office.
What kind? Are we going to see who was on the flights? Are we going to see any evidence from what he recorded? Because he had all of his homes wired with recording devices.
The Trump administration promised transparency. They said the Attorney General and FBI Director would go over everything with a fine-tooth comb.
Review revealed no incriminating client list. So what happened to the Epstein client list that the Attorney General said she had on her desk?
Well, I think if you go back and look at what the Attorney General said in that interview, which was on your network, on Fox News.
Got the quote.
Go ahead.
John Roberts said, DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen? And she said, it's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Yes, she was saying the entirety of all of the paperwork, all of the paper in relation to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. That's what the Attorney General was referring to, and I'll let her speak for that. But again, when it comes to the FBI and the Department of Justice, they are more than committed to ensuring that bad people are put behind bars. They have an operation going on right now called Summer Heat, which has our murder rate trending in the lowest direction in United States history. Their emphasis on violent crime and locking up violent criminals has led to the arrest of 14,000 violent criminals. That's a 62% increase from the same time period last year. So this Attorney General and the FBI Director are committed to putting bad people behind bars where they belong. They promised an exhaustive review. That's what they did. For any further details, I would refer you to the Department of Justice.
That originally the enhanced and the regular raw version line up perfectly in terms of aspect ratio. But when the camera flips over to this new day, now their aspect ratio is actually off from each other. So why? I mean,
U.S. government, if you're listening, you should hire your boy. I'm a master at aspect ratios. I can match up the doors for you.
We know now that the Epstein footage that they have released to us, even the raw footage, was modified.
But all we got was vague speeches and dodges. We're doing the work, sure, sounds great. This isn't a left versus right thing, this is just embarrassing for everyone. Are we still talking about Epstein? Yeah, because it matters. And if this many people are involved and this much footage exists and this many kids were hurt, why hasn't anything happened?